The invitation arrived 3 weeks before my sister's birthday party. It was elaborate, professionally printed on thick cardstock with embossed lettering. "You're invited to Melissa's 35th birthday celebration," it announced in gold script. The venue was listed as the community center downtown, the one with the big playground and indoor party room. My son Daniel saw the invitation on the kitchen counter while I was making dinner. "Is that Aunt Melissa's party?" he asked, his eyes lighting up. At 6 years old, he still got excited about family gatherings, still believed that everyone was kind. "It is," I confirmed, stirring the pasta sauce. "Can I make her a card? A really special one?" His enthusiasm was genuine, untainted by the subtle exclusions that had become normal in our family dynamics. "Of course you can, buddy." He spent the next 2 weeks working on that card. Every evening after homework, he spread out his art supplies on the dining room table: construction paper, markers, stickers, glitter glue. He drew pictures of birthday cakes and balloons. He practiced writing "Happy Birthday, Aunt Melissa" over and over on scratch paper until his letters were neat enough to put on the real card. "Is this good enough, Mom?" he'd ask, showing me his progress. "It's beautiful, Daniel. She's going to love it." I watched him add the final touches the night before the party, carefully gluing on star stickers he'd saved from a school project. The card was lumpy with glue and enthusiasm, the kind of gift only a child can make, with a pure heart and zero cynicism. The day of the party arrived on a Saturday afternoon. I dressed Daniel in his nice khaki pants and the button-up shirt we'd bought for school pictures. He clutched his handmade card like it was treasure, protecting it carefully as we drove to the community center. Cars filled the parking lot. I recognized my mother's sedan, my brother's truck, and various cousins' vehicles. The party was clearly well attended. Through the windows I could see colorful decorations and hear music playing. Daniel practically bounced as we walked toward the entrance, his card held carefully in both hands. "Do you think she'll like it?" he asked for the 100th time. "I think it's the most thoughtful gift she'll get today," I assured him. We entered through the main doors. The party was in full swing in the large multipurpose room. Balloons clustered in every corner. A dessert table stretched along one wall, laden with cupcakes and a massive birthday cake. Adults mingled with drinks while children ran between them, their laughter echoing off the high ceilings. My sister Melissa stood near the gift table, greeting guests. She wore a navy blue dress that probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget, her hair professionally styled. When she saw us, her smile tightened almost imperceptibly. "You made it," she said, her tone neutral. "Happy birthday," I replied warmly. "Daniel made you something special." Daniel stepped forward, holding out his card with both hands like an offering. "I made this for you, Aunt Melissa. I worked really hard on it." She took the card, glanced at it briefly, and set it on the gift table without opening it, right next to an envelope that was clearly a gift card. The dismissal was subtle but unmistakable. "Thanks," she said absently, already looking past us to the next arriving guest. Daniel's face fell slightly, but he recovered. "Can I go play with the other kids?" I looked toward the indoor playground area attached to the party room. My nieces and nephews were there, along with several other children. They were climbing on the equipment, playing tag, their voices carrying over the adult conversations. "Sure, buddy. Go ahead." Daniel started toward the play area, his excitement returning. He was halfway there when Melissa's voice cut through the noise. "Daniel, wait." He stopped, turning back with a hopeful expression. Melissa walked over to him, her heels clicking on the tile floor. She crouched down to his level, but her body language was wrong. Too stiff, too formal. "Sweetie, the play area is pretty full right now," she said in that overly sweet tone adults use when they're about to say something unkind. "Why don't you wait outside on the patio? There are benches there. The other kids need their space." The words hit me like cold water. I watched Daniel's face, saw the confusion cloud his eyes. "But there's room," he said quietly, pointing to the play structure where at least 10 other children were running around with plenty of space. "I think it's better if you wait outside," Melissa repeated, standing up. She wasn't even looking at him anymore, already turning back to her other guests. Daniel looked at me, his eyes asking a question I didn't want to answer. Why was he being sent away? What had he done wrong? The other adults nearby had gone quiet. My mother busied herself with her phone. My brother suddenly became very interested in the dessert table. No one said anything. No one defended my son. I saw it clearly then, the pattern I'd been trying to ignore for years. The subtle ways Daniel was always treated differently. The birthday parties where he received noticeably smaller gifts. The family photos where he was positioned at the edge. The way conversations stopped when we entered rooms. Daniel had been born when I was 23, young and unmarried. His father had left before Daniel was even born. My family had been disapproving from the start, their judgment wrapped in concern but unmistakable. They'd made space for us at gatherings, included us in holiday dinners, but always with an asterisk. Always with the unspoken message that we were the exception, the accommodation, the charity case. And now my son, innocent and kind, was being sent outside like he didn't belong. Daniel, I said quietly, my decision crystallizing in that moment. Go get your jacket. Am I in trouble? His voice was small. No, baby. Not at all. We're leaving. Melissa turned back, surprise crossing her face. What? You just got here. And now we're leaving. I kept my voice calm and steady. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of seeing anger. Daniel, jacket. Now. He didn't argue. He just walked to where we'd left our coats by the entrance. His shoulders were slumped, his handmade card forgotten on the gift table. You're being ridiculous, Melissa hissed, stepping closer. He can come back inside after things settle down. No, I said simply. He can't. Because we won't be here. My mother finally looked up from her phone. Don't be dramatic. Melissa just meant. I know exactly what she meant. I met my mother's eyes. And I'm done pretending it's acceptable. Daniel returned with both our jackets. I took his hand, feeling how small it was in mine, how completely he trusted me to make this right. Even though he didn't understand what was happening. We walked out of the community center into the bright afternoon sunlight. Daniel was quiet in the car, staring out the window as I drove. Mom, he finally said. Did I do something wrong? The question broke my heart. No, baby. You didn't do anything wrong. Not one single thing. Then why did Aunt Melissa make me wait outside? I pulled into a parking lot and turned to face him. Sometimes people make choices that aren't kind. It's not about you. It's about them. But I made her a card, he said, his voice cracking. I worked really hard. I know you did. And it was beautiful. I brushed his hair back from his forehead. You know what? How about we go do something fun? Just us. Like what? Whatever you want. He thought about it, wiping his eyes. Can we go to the park? The big one with the swings. Absolutely. We spent the rest of that afternoon at the park. Daniel played on the swings, made friends with 3 other kids within 10 minutes and forgot about the birthday party. I sat on a bench watching him, making a decision that had been building for years. That evening, after Daniel was asleep, I sent a message to my family group chat. It was simple and direct. Daniel and I won't be attending family gatherings going forward. We wish you all well. The responses came quickly. Confusion, defensiveness. My mother called it an overreaction. Melissa claimed I'd misunderstood. My brother suggested I was too sensitive. I didn't respond to any of them. I simply turned off notifications and moved forward. The following Monday, I mentioned the incident to another parent at Daniel's school during pickup. Her name was Sarah, and our sons were in the same class. That's terrible, she said, genuine sympathy in her voice. No child should be treated like that. I just don't understand it, I admitted. He's 6. He's innocent. Sarah hesitated, then said, Look, some of us parents get together for playdates on weekends. Nothing fancy, just kids playing at the park or in someone's backyard. Daniel would be welcome anytime. That invitation changed everything. The first playdate was the following Saturday. 5 families met at a local park. The kids ran wild on the playground while the parents sat on blankets, drinking coffee from thermoses and chatting. Daniel was immediately welcomed into the group. No questions asked, no judgment passed. Your son is delightful, another parent told me. Her name was Jennifer, and she had twins Daniel's age. He's been so sweet with my boys. I watched Daniel helping one of the twins reach the monkey bars, his face bright with concentration and kindness. He's a good kid, I said, my throat tight. You're doing an amazing job with him, Jennifer said. Single parenting is hard. We see you. Those 3 words, we see you, meant more than she could know. The playdates became regular. Every weekend, sometimes twice a week during summer. The group of families grew. Birthday parties were inclusive, with every child invited and welcomed equally. Daniel flourished in this environment, making friends who never questioned his worth. 3 months after Melissa's birthday, Daniel came home from school excited about an invitation. Mom, Tyler's having a birthday party and I'm invited. Can I go? Please. Tyler was one of his closest friends from the playdate group. Of course you can go. I want to make him a really good card, Daniel said, already pulling out his art supplies. Like I did for Aunt Melissa. The mention of that card, the one she'd barely glanced at, still stung. But I watched Daniel work on Tyler's card with the same enthusiasm, the same care, and I knew he was okay. He hadn't learned to hold back his kindness just because one person rejected it. Tyler's birthday party was at a bowling alley. 12 kids from school ran around with rented shoes and bright bowling balls. When we arrived, Tyler's mom greeted us at the door. Daniel, I'm so glad you could make it. She gave him a genuine hug. Tyler has been talking about this all week. Daniel handed over his handmade card proudly. Tyler opened it immediately, his face lighting up. This is so cool. Look at the robot you drew. Mom, look. His mother examined the card with real appreciation. This is amazing, Daniel. You're so talented. We're definitely keeping this. I watched the exchange, the simple act of a child's gift being valued, and felt the weight of old hurt beginning to lift. The months passed. Daniel's 7th birthday came and we celebrated with his new friends. The party was simple, held at the community pool of our small apartment complex. 20 kids showed up. 20 families who saw Daniel not as an obligation or a problem, but as exactly what he was. A sweet, kind, creative child who deserved to be celebrated. My phone occasionally buzzed with messages from family, holiday invitations, birthday announcements, requests to talk this out. I kept my responses brief, polite, and firm. We were building a different life, one where Daniel never had to stand alone outside while others played inside. One evening, while Daniel and I were making dinner together, he brought up the incident unprompted. Mom, remember Aunt Melissa's party? When she made me wait outside. I remember, I said carefully. I'm glad we left, he said matter-of-factly, stirring the salad. Tyler's mom would never do that. None of my friends' moms would. You're right. They wouldn't. I think some people just aren't very nice, he concluded with the simple wisdom of childhood. But that's okay because lots of people are nice. Like all my friends. He was right. The world was full of people who chose kindness, who welcomed children with open arms, who valued handmade cards and genuine hearts. We'd found our people, our community, our place where neither of us had to earn belonging. Daniel finished 7th grade last month. He has a solid group of friends, boys and girls who have been constant in his life for over a year now. They play soccer together, have sleepovers, and show up for each other's events. Their parents have become my friends too, a support system I didn't know I needed. Last week, one of Daniel's friends asked him about his extended family. Do you see your aunts and uncles much? Daniel shrugged. Not really. But that's okay. I have lots of people who care about me. And he does. He has friends who include him, parents who welcome him, and a community that sees his worth without conditions. He has playdates and birthday parties where he belongs fully, never partially. He has people who open his handmade cards and treasure them. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your child is walk away from people who make them feel small, even if those people are family. Sometimes love means choosing different people, better people, kinder people. Daniel doesn't wait outside anymore. He plays inside, right in the middle of everything, exactly where he belongs. And he knows without question that he is wanted, valued, and loved. That's worth more than any family obligation ever could be.